Lab 5 key, number 1. Cosecant squared theta minus cotangent squared theta is 1 plus cotangent squared theta minus cotangent squared theta equals 1. Number 2. Tangent theta plus cotangent theta equals secant theta times cosecant theta. Manipulating the left side, tangent theta plus cotangent theta expressed with sine and cosine equals cosine theta over sine theta plus sine theta over cosine theta. Simplify cosine theta over sine theta plus sine theta over cosine theta. Cosine squared theta plus sine squared theta over sine theta times cosine theta equals cosine squared theta plus sine squared theta over cosine theta times sine theta. Use the following identity: cosine squared plus sine squared equals 1. So that equals 1 over cosine theta times sine theta. Manipulating the right side, secant theta times cosecant theta expressed with sine and cosine equals 1 over cosine times 1 over sine. Refine 1 over cosine times sine theta. Number 3, secant theta minus cosine theta over secant theta plus cosine theta equals sine squared theta over 1 plus cosine squared theta. Manipulating the left side, secant theta minus cosine theta over secant theta plus cosine theta expressed with sine and cosine minus cosine theta plus 1 over cosine theta equals cosine theta plus 1 over cosine theta. Simplify, that is equal to cosine squared theta plus 1 over cosine squared theta plus 1 equals 1 minus cosine squared theta over 1 plus cosine squared theta. Use the following identity: 1 minus cosine squared x equals sine squared x equals sine squared theta over 1 plus cosine squared theta. Number 4, left. Secant squared theta minus 2 secant theta tangent theta plus tangent squared theta equals 1 over cosine squared theta minus 2 times 1 times sine theta over cosine squared theta plus sine squared theta over cosine squared theta equals 1 minus sine theta plus sine squared theta over cosine squared theta. Factor the top. 1 times 1 minus sine theta times 1 minus sine theta is equal to 1 minus sine theta squared over 1 minus sine squared theta equals 1 minus sine theta quantity squared over 1 minus sine theta times 1 plus sine theta equals 1 minus sine theta over 1 plus sine theta. Number 5. Cosine x cosine y minus sine x sine y plus cosine x cosine y plus sine x sine y is equal to 2 cosine x cosine y. Number 6. Sine x times cotangent x plus tangent x equals secant x. Manipulating the left side, sine x times cotangent x plus tangent x expressed with sine and cosine, cosine over sine plus sine over cosine, quantity times sine of x. Simplify, cosine x over sine x plus sine x over cosine x times sine x is equal to cosine squared x plus sine squared x over cosine x equals cosine squared x plus sine squared x over cosine x. Cosine squared x plus sine squared x equals 1, so this is equal to 1 over cosine x. Use the following identity: cosine x is equal to 1 over secant x, so the top is equal to 1 over secant x. Simplify secant x. Number 7, the right side. Sine of theta over 1 plus cosine theta times 1 minus cosine theta over 1 minus cosine theta. Sine of theta times 1 minus cosine theta over 1 minus cosine squared theta. Sine of theta times 1 minus cosine theta over sine squared theta. 1 minus cosine theta over sine theta. Number 8, the right side. Sine of x times cosine y plus cosine x sine y minus quantity sine x cosine y minus cosine x sine y. Distribute 2 times cosine x sine y.